Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there in podcast land, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. This is another episode of Hunting the Shadows. Welcome aboard the Strange Train tonight. Where the chat room's filling up. That's what I like to see. All right, definitely. Hello, everyone. I hope you have had a great week so far. It's been interesting, definitely. Absolutely, and want to welcome you all aboard here tonight. And thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for your support. Absolutely. We appreciate that. We got a lot of ground to cover tonight. We're going to have sort of a little bit of a teaching session tonight. We're going to be talking about music. Yes, music and what it does to us and what it can do to us if it's used in the wrong hands. So, are you dancing with the darkness? All right, think about it. And we're going to be talking about that definitely tonight and some of the pitfalls of the music industry and the ritualistic aspects of it. We're going to get deep into that and some other stuff as well. And we definitely will do that. And I want to welcome everyone in. Hello, Jessica McCabe and Destry's Nana. And there's the girl and her gong. Hello, dear. Good to have you here. Gus's mom. And my nephew, Kyle Smith. Come on in the house, Mr. Smith. Ada is here. And Luna Moon. Hello. I want to welcome you all here, definitely. It's good to see you. Absolutely. Pull up a chair, make yourself at home, okay? All right, we're gonna be here a little while, and I hope we'll have some fun, and maybe you just might learn something. You never know. I always consider it a good day when I learn something that I didn't know. And believe me, there's plenty to learn out there. Absolutely, because none of us know it all. That's right. Some of us think we do, but boy, are we wrong about that. Because nobody knows it all. I wish I did, but I don't. Absolutely, that's all I can tell you anyway. Hello, Blue Eyed Bandit. But some people out there are walking around thinking they know it all. That's the way that goes. You got someone like that. I call them the armchair experts. They read a couple of books. They think they're an expert on the subject, whatever it may be. A lot of politicians that way. Absolutely. I was out in the woods today and I found Bigfoot's toothpick. He dropped it out there somewhere. I think that must be a small one. He uses only on his front teeth, actually. That's his toothpick, folks. Okay. All right. But anyway, I'm getting closer to him. I found his toothpick, so it means I'm closing in on him. But anyway, hello, Freedom Lover. Good to have you here. And you don't know it all. I enjoy learning. Absolutely. But you know what? When you think you know it all, you quit learning. That's the problem. That's exactly what happens with people. They think they know it all, so they just stop learning. That's a stupid way to be. Absolutely. And when we find out we're doing stuff stupid, we need to change our course on that. Some people don't do. They think they're okay on that, definitely. But anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand, definitely. And we're going to be talking about getting into music here. Music. There's an old saying about music. Music has charms to soothe the savage beast. In other words, it's supposed to calm you down and make you feel better. But sometimes it can be used as a weapon. It can be part of weaponization of things that they use against you. And that's another thing about it. You got to really watch out with stuff like that because if they can turn it against you and use it that way against you, you better watch out because they're up to something, definitely. And the perfect prime example of music manipulating things is, I've always talked about this in the horror movie, right before the monster shows up or the killer makes his entrance. You start hearing this spooky music, this suspenseful kind of weird music, and it gets you in the mood. It starts playing on your emotions. and gets you scared. It's the preliminary scaring part of the movie for you, okay? And that's what it does. And so you know that's the interesting thing about it is that it can be used to manipulate your emotions. Okay, and your emotions are very important because your emotions can overrule your brain, but they also are connected to your brain, your thinking patterns. And that's the interesting thing about it. If you start messing around emotionally with somebody, you can kind of really do some bad things to them, definitely, if you're not careful. And that's one of the things you gotta understand about music, okay? Music has a good side and a bad side to it, but like I said, it can be weapons. And let me tell you something you probably don't know. But I have engaged in thousands of house blessings, of cleansings, spiritual cleansings is what I like to call them. I have engaged in thousands of them over the years. Okay, I have to tell you, I had to do a show on that just that alone one night, and tell you about all the weird and things and attacks that have happened to me while I've been doing that type of stuff. But you know, one of the very first preliminary things that you do before you begin the spiritual cleansing, you go through the house, top to bottom, ringing a bell. You ring a bell, okay? And we've talked about this before. Bells definitely have a bad effect on evil spirits. Oh yeah, they do not like bells at all, okay? And why is that? Because bells are changing the very vibration of the bell changes their vibrational level. They don't like that. It kind of lifts it up, and they're low level vibrational beings. They do not want their vibration to go up. Matter of fact, they're out to bring your vibration down. So that's how they attack you. They lower your vibration and attack you. If your vibration is high, it keeps them from doing that to you. Okay, you got to remember that. It's very important. Yeah, bells in church. That's why churches have bells. You ring wedding bells, you have funeral bells, you have birth bells. They used to ring bells when babies were born. There can be alarm bells. There can be warning bells. There can be bells that are rung at wartime for certain instances. The list goes on and on. Bells are very important because the sound they're producing is doing something on a spiritual level. Absolutely. Hey, Blue Eyed Bandit is a new member. All right. Welcome aboard. Good to have you here. You're now an official Shadow Wolf, Blue Eyed Bandit. You can be proud of that. Shadow Wolf, number one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There. Yep. We're number one. Anyway, this is doing things on a spiritual level here, folks. Okay. And we gotta remember that. Let's take a jump back for a moment, okay? And I just want to explain for this for some people that might not know this, okay? But demons and angels are two different things here. Oh, Blue Eye Bandit has gifted 5 Hunting the Shadows memberships. Very good. Thank you. Very generous of you. Thank you so very, very much for that, Blue Eye Bandit. Look at that. 5 people's going to get on the membership and become Shadow Wolves too. All right. Good deal. Good deal. But we got to remember the differences. Fallen angels, demons are two different things, okay? What are demons? Demons are the Nephilim, folks. That's just another name for them. They are the Nephilim. They are the disembodied spirits of the giants and the Nephilim that still exist in this world, and they can do that because they're not ghosts like you think a ghost is. Okay, like the ghost of a person. The Nephilim walked this world, but not as human beings. They were half human and half something else, but they weren't like you and me. Okay, their spirits remain behind. Their spirits are trapped in sort of a limbo of hell in a spiritual dimension, and they are causing bad things. They're in cahoots with the fallen angels, Satan and his angels. Okay, and that is one of the very distinct reasons why there was the Great Reset when God flooded the world. He reset the world because it was full and messed up, screwed up by the Nephilim and these fallen angels as well, because of what they did with human women to procreate the race of the Nephilim. Okay, and the Nephilim really screwed things up. They screwed humanity up, not just the world itself, but humanity is also. And that is why you have heard me say this many times. The Nephilim are still with us. They never went anywhere. They're still here. We call them demons. Okay, evil spirits. The Bible also calls them evil spirits or unclean spirits. Okay, these guys are the rough guys. They're the bad guys, and they're always up to no good. No matter what they're doing, they're up to no good. They hate God. They hate us. They hate everything, and they will screw you up as possibility. But guess what? Demons hate Baals because Baals are connection to the heavens. They are something on a higher spiritual vibrational level. They can't take it. They can't stand Baals. Okay, because of this very reason. Whenever you ring a bell, if there's an evil spirit about, it gets their attention. That's why in a spiritual cleansing, you go through the house and ring the bell. It drives them out so that you can cast them out. See what I'm saying? Does that not make sense? Makes perfect sense when you think about it. You got to first get the varmints out where you can do something to them or get something done with them. So we got to remember that. It's very important. But anyway, Uh, you're talking about vibrational stuff here, folks. Okay, spiritual vibrational stuff. But anybody that plays music, and you know the girl in her gong knows this. Anybody that uses gongs or sound bowls, singing bowls, all these different things, you know that vibration is very important to these things because that's part of the music. That's part of the music composition is vibration. Okay, you wouldn't have music without vibration. Think about it, smart. Okay, and that's what we're getting at here tonight with the show. Okay. That that's a big part of music. Now I want to tell you something about music. Music, like I said earlier, can manipulate. It can manipulate your emotions. It can manipulate your thoughts. I want you to look at music in two different ways. First of all, and we're going to be talking about this evil music that we're going to be talking about tonight. There is an evil music in this world, folks. Okay. There is a bad kind of music out there, and like I said, it is mainly to manipulate. Okay, that's what this whole thing's about. It's mainly to manipulate and do bad things to human beings. Okay, or to get them to do bad things. Okay, and let me tell you why we're talking about that. Okay, the main thing about that is that these forces know this. They know that music is an instrumental tool that they can use to screw up mankind. Okay? They know that. They know, yeah. Rock, rap, whatever it may be. And I want to talk about this heavy metal. That stuff's evil. All right? Yeah, this rap music, most of it's evil. They're celebrating a thug life, the lifestyle of the thugs. They don't care what they do. They're talking about raping women, shooting policemen, shooting each other up, killing each other, taking drugs, doing dope and all that stuff. That's what it's all about. How does that get good? That's not good. That's dark stuff there, folks. I don't care which way you look at it. If you're going along if you're going along with that kind of stuff, whose side are you really on here? You know, you got to ask yourself that question. And that's right, girl on a gong. It is for emotional balance, and that's where vibration comes in. Absolutely. And just like I got through saying, yeah. And Lucifer is the angel of the air and the airwaves. He is definitely that. He was also supposedly head of the choir. Did you know that? Supposedly he was head of the choir in heaven. I saw a satanic metal concert band called Mayhem. Yeah, that stuff is satanic too, and it's very obviously satanic. And I want you to think about this, okay? Listen very closely to what I'm about to say. Music can be what? Ritualized. It can become part of a ritual. It can be used that way. Now we see that very obviously with some of the stuff they're doing on stage with all this stuff that that goes on with a lot of these concerts and stuff like that. They are ritualizing the music because they are using the music as a weapon, a manipulation weapon against you. You understand that? You grew up on 80s metal music, you know what I'm talking about, condensed reality. Absolutely. It is very satanic. It is very dark. Why is it dark? Because certain forces are using that. Let me tell you, look at gospel music a moment. Okay? What is that? It is a form of what? Worship and praise to God, okay? But look at the opposite end of that. Some of this other stuff we're talking about is not praising and worshiping God. Who is it praising and worshiping? Who is it ritualizing? Could it be the guy known as the angel of light? Could it be him? It makes you wonder, of course. That's exactly who it is. That's who it's tied into. And that is exactly what he's up to. And why are they ritualizing it? Because they're getting you involved in it. Just like when you go to church and sing hymns, you are praising God. You are worshiping God while you sing, and it connects your heart, connects your soul. You know, music, whatever form it may take, whether it's a singing bowl or a guitar or a piano, whatever it takes, it touches the human soul. That's what music does. We got to remember that. And they know that. So be very, very careful what music you're listening to because it's going to be doing stuff to you. And you got to be very careful and all that. And what you listen to and what you let in here. Because what goes in here goes in here and it goes in here. That's simple enough for you? I've even been to a black church before and heard gospel music. Yeah, gospel music is uplifting. It connects you spiritually with God. It is a form of praise and worship and connection with God. It does, yeah, because I've heard it. Anybody that's experienced it knows that if you have an open heart or mind to these things. But look at the opposite end. Look at the opposite end. Look at some of this heavy metal, some of this grunge rock, some of this rap music that's out there. If you like rap music, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry, I hate to say that, but you're not right. You're moralistically very ambiguous. Put it that way. I'm not trying to be judgmental here, but I'm just telling you the facts. And what I've said before, what kind of fruit's hanging on your tree when you like that kind of stuff? You got to look at it that way. I picked that restaurant, little lady scooted out in front of my band here. I called the activities director. She mentioned that little lady. Music moves you emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. It moves your whole body. Think about it. You ever see music makes you want to tap your foot? It moves you physically too. It's vibrating on that level doing this to you. Don't you understand? And that's the way it works. But if it's bad stuff, if it's evil music with an evil intent behind it, with an evil ritual attached to it, it's worshiping Satan, the devil, whatever name you want to call him. It's worshiping satanic stuff. That's going to affect you too. You do not need to be listening to that kind of stuff. You do not need that influence, my friends, in your life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about here? You do not need that influence like that right there in your life. If you could see what some of these musicians really look like, that's probably what they really look like. Okay? Even probably worse than that. Because they are the tools of Satan doing the things he wants them to do, getting them to corrupt people the way he wants to get people corrupted. That's what it's all about. That's the name of the game. Absolutely. So don't forget that. It's very important stuff we're talking about tonight because this is part of the entertainment. This is a big part of the entertainment system out there. Music, okay? Not just the rock concerts, not just the rap concerts, not just the raves they call them and all this other stuff. It's not just that. People are listening to this song. They're walking around with the earbuds in their ears all the time. They got the earbuds in their ears. They're listening to this music all the time, and you hear this boom, 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 boom over and over and over and over again. What's it doing to you? It's indoctrinating you. You're getting brainwashed here. in all the wrong way. So if you're going to listen to music, you need to listen to good, uplifting music. Music that makes you feel good, that truly touches your soul and heart in the right way, not the wrong way. In the bright way, not the dark way. So I tell you out there tonight, listening to me tonight, be very careful because this can affect you very much. Absolutely. Hello, Overbuilt. Thank you for my birthday present, Overbuilt. I've been enjoying it all day. I've been playing with my mind. Yes, I love it. Thank you. I appreciate my present very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love it. You knew just what to give me, sir. Anyway, um, the you got to be very careful what you're putting in right here because it is turning you the way it wants you to go. It is bending and twisting you in the way that it goes. If you're not careful, it will bend you in the wrong way and finally you'll break. You got to remember that, okay? It's very, very important that we be very careful with what we let in those gates to our soul. And that includes this dark music. Are you dancing with the darkness? Are you listening to this stuff and letting it change and twist your soul in the wrong way? For all the wrong reasons? And believe me, you might say, you might try to write us, Dennis, it's just music. No, it's more than that. It becomes part of you. It will eventually work its and worm its way. It will possess you to a certain extent. It will possess you in that way if you're not careful. So you've got to be very, very careful. And when I say you need to listen, and I'm not just talking about music, you need to watch movies, read books, listen to things that are uplifting and good and that make you feel good, that touch your soul, that help you understand life and feel life the right way. You don't need this dark stuff, folks. You do not need this darkness in your life. Be very careful what kind of music you're letting in to your brain and into your soul because it can affect you very badly. Unfortunately, people are not going to listen. They want to hear or listen to what they want to listen to. But listen, what I'm about to tell you. When you do stuff like that, you will pay a price for it somewhere down the line. When you play with the darkness, you're going to get your hands stained. You're going to get some bad residue out of this. Trust me, I've seen it happen too many, many times over the years. It does happen. The more you play with darkness, the more dark you will become. Don't you understand? That's the way that works. And these demonic forces know that. They're out to possess you. They're out to screw you up. They're out to change you, twist you, and bend you in all the wrong ways. That's what they're up to. And they know that this weapon, when they weaponize music, they can get things done for all the wrong reasons. Absolutely. So don't dance with the darkness. Whatever you do not want to dance with the darkness. That's right, girl and gone. Listen to music of high vibration, not this low vibrational crap they're putting out there. Because let me tell you, and what I said at the beginning of the program, these are low vibrational beings, the demons are, and they want to pull you down to their level and get you into the low vibrational level so they can attack you and possess you. That's what it works. That's the way it works, okay? And if they get you on that level, they got you right where they want you. Don't you understand there's a reasoning behind it? They're not just doing this to be mean. They've got a plan behind it. And the plan is to possess you, to take you over, to turn you into something like a demon walking around that looks like a human. That's what it's coming down to, folks. And that's why there's a lot of people out there doing the mean and evil things they're doing today. They're under this demonic influence. That's why they go and shoot up stores and nightclubs and schools, shoot each other, flip each other off on the highway, do all these bad things they're doing. Why is that? We are being corrupted day in and day out, constantly under this corrupting influence of the demonic. It's there. It's very real. Just like the air you breathe and the ground you walk on. This stuff is real. There's nothing made up. It's not a fairy tale. It's not just a story somebody told. This is the real deal. They are out there and they are out for one thing and one thing only: your corruption and destruction. Those go both together, by the way. Corruption and destruction. That's what it's all about. Yours. And don't you think for 1 minute, oh, I'm too smart, I'm too strong to do that. They're not going to do me that way. That's been a lot of famous last words over the years, my friends. Thank you there, Lady VR, for that $15. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Thank you, dear. A lot of people have said that. That's been some very famous last words. Don't let them be yours. Oh, I can handle it. I can do it. They're not going to do that to me. I'm smart enough. I'm strong enough. They're not going to do it. Yep. Just as very true. This stuff pulls you into the drug scene. It pulls you into the darkness. It pulls you into the satanic worship and all this other stuff. That's what it's designed to do. Don't fall for the trap. It's a trap, folks. I'm warning you. It's a trap. If I call you up tomorrow and say, Kyle, don't go out on your back porch. There's a bear trap out there. I hope you listen to me, because I wouldn't be just calling you up to tell you that and be mean to you. Maybe I'm trying to warn you about something. Maybe you ought to listen. Maybe you better look out on that porch before you go out there. Well, that's what I'm warning you about tonight. This is a trap, pure and simple. It's a snare set to trap you. That's what it is. Don't you fall for it. I don't want to see you fall for it, because they'll get you right where they want you. And then when they got you right where they want you, they will kill you. It works that way. That's the way it goes. Satan always takes you to the edge of the cliff. He always he takes the hope and gives you the rope. Do you not understand that? The rope to hang yourself with. You know what I mean? And that's what's going on in the world. Look at the world around you today. Would you have ever thought you would see people standing on the street protesting because there's too many policemen or too many people out there trying to keep rapists and murderers away from them? Do you think you would ever see that? People protesting against that. How stupid can you get? I want all the help I can get, whether it's the National Guard or whoever it is. Why are you out there protesting against that? You want murderers and rapists and child molesters walking around out there doing whatever they want to do? What is wrong with you people? What's happened to the last bit of brain cell that you had? Wake up! My God, you better wake up. That's crazy. Why do you want rapists and murderers and illegal people walking around out there on your streets that shouldn't even be here? They have no rights under your laws. They don't pay any taxes like you do. They're not supposed to be here. I got nothing against anybody who comes in the right way. You follow the channels and do the things, and you're here for all the right reasons. I got nothing wrong with that. I used to check people's green cards when I was a cop, okay? I got nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. Fine, perfectly fine. But when you're here illegally and you come in and you say, I don't care, I'm above your law. I don't need to go by your law. I can turn trucks in the U-turn and kill people if I want to. I'm not under your law. Well, that is not right, folks. And if you stand up for something like that, you're not right. You're in the wrong place. You're standing up for darkness and evil. You better check yourself. What side you're really on here? Yeah, a lot of those protesters over Bill are out there because they pay them. You know, people like George Soros and all that, they're paying them to be out there. They don't even really care what they're protesting about as long as they get the paycheck. What is wrong with this situation? What's wrong with this scene here, folks? Yeah, all of our ancestors came here legally. And we have a right to be here for that. But if you come sneaking in the door, breaking our laws, going against every precept we have said, you don't need to be here. And anybody that stands up for that, You need to leave this country. I want you to go somewhere else. You don't need to be here. You're not part of the solution. You are the problem. And if you're not the solution and you're the problem, you need to get out of here. Just crazy. It's crazy. What's wrong with these people? I'll tell you what's wrong with them. You want to know? They're getting turned over to a reprobate mind. Satan is getting a hold of their mind. They're being what? Demonically possessed. You go too far and you see right is wrong and wrong is right. You know what that makes you? It makes you a child of the Nephilim. You're not even really human anymore, my friend. Your soul is gone south forever. Yes, judges allow rapists and violent offenders out there. They've got blood on their hands. Gavin Newsom of California has got blood on his hands. All these other guys, they got blood on their hands. They're voting for the wrong things for all the wrong reasons. They don't care about us. And we are the people that belong here. We are the people that pay their salaries. We are the people that pay the taxes, that pay them. They work for us. Why are they working against us? People better wake up. They better wake up and see what's really going on with this world. Everything didn't turn around here. What's wrong is right, and what's right is wrong. And that is a reprobate mind. You cannot get forgiveness for that. That is the one sin you cannot get forgiveness for. Did you know that? And they're twisting your reality. They're changing your reality into this because that's what they want. They are on the side of the forces of darkness and evil in this world. That's where they're at. And you know, you heard me talk about that before. There are only two kingdoms in this world, the kingdom of light and the kingdom of darkness. Which one are you in? There ain't no in between here. That's a lie. Satan made up that lie. There's no in between. You're not walking in the middle of the road here, which is a stupid place to walk, by the way. No, there's only one of two choices you got to make here. Just like this stupid lies that they tell you, you were born either a male or a female. Gavin Newsom is a meat rider himself. Yeah, he's something else. He is scum. People better wake up. They better wake up. The darkness is getting the upper hand here. Things are gonna. Do you think this bad now? You ain't seen nothing yet. This is just the beginning of the end. It's just the beginning. It's just getting wound up good. It ain't even got started good. Oh yeah, I read the Genesis conspiracy. Absolutely. That's what these guys are. They're the Nephilim. They're still here with us right now. They never left. That's why they were after the flood too. And I'm not going to get into that tonight. I'm going to have to do a show on that. I'm going to have to do a show on the Nephilim one night and tell you exactly how they made it through the flood. Okay? But anyway, they're still here with us. They ain't never left, and they're not going to leave until the very last, until the end of this world, and God kicks them out of here. We're not going to be able to do it. This is a spiritual problem. Now listen very closely to what I'm about to tell you. This music that we're talking about is a spiritual problem. Okay? And you need to take it to God because God is the spirit. How do you worship God? Does anybody know that? Raise your hand. How do you worship God? You worship God in what? In the spirit and truth. That's what Jesus says. You worship God in spirit and truth. Because God is the spirit. And he's the only one that's going to be able to secure the spirit and truth of this world. Not us. We can't do it. We're physical. We're not spiritual. 100% spiritual. You understand what I'm saying here? This is a spiritual problem in the world. But we've got the one thing we can do about it is not participate in it. We don't have to go along with it. Nobody, I'm going to ask you something. Don Morris, Hans, or Overbill. I'm going to ask anyway. Is anybody holding a gun to your head making you do any of this? Answer me truthfully now. No, they're not. Nobody's holding a gun to your head making you. This is a personal choice. And I'm warning you, you better make the right personal choice here. You better make the right personal choice. Because you ain't going to get but one chance at this. I'm sorry to tell you that. I don't care what you believe in this reincarnation junk. It's not true. If that were true, Jesus went to the cross for nothing. Don't you believe that stuff? That's the lies of the devil, okay? You ain't coming back. You got one chance at this to get it right. That's why it's so important. You only got one chance. We were not born or made to be gods. We are not gods. We never were gods. We were promised that. Who promised you could be a god? Who said you could be smart? Don't ever forget, Satan offered Eve, your mother Eve, 3 choices. Look at the fruit. Oh, it's beautiful to look at, desirable. That's the first thing, okay? Second thing is, it will give you knowledge. It'll give you knowledge. Third thing is, it'll give you power like a god. These are all 3 unholy lies that they're still trying to sell you. To be healed, truly healed, is not inside of you. It comes from God. You don't have power to be a God. That power comes from God. Everything comes from God. It's not in you. You can use all the crystals you want, everything else, but I'm just telling you the truth here. These things come only from God. You're leaving God out of the equation. That's what's wrong with this New Age philosophy crap that they're selling people out there. They're telling people you don't need God. You are God. You don't need God. You can heal yourself. Bull, folks. This is a bunch of bull crap. It's been sold since the Garden of Eden. He's still trying to sell it to people today. This is an important part of supernatural and metaphysical stuff you need to listen to and understand. It is a spiritual problem here. And only a spirit can deal with it, and that spirit is the spirit of God. That is God. You must worship him in spirit and in truth. What is the truth? Anybody know it? Anybody want to hold a hand up and tell me what the truth is? Come on now, I hear crickets out there. I think I hear some crickets. What is the truth? It has a name. The truth. The truth is the word of God. Who is the word of God? The word became flesh and dwelt among men. Jesus Christ is the truth. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the resurrection. That's Jesus. He's the truth of God. You worship God in spirit and in truth. You got it? Do you see the formula here now? Is it enlightening you to listen to this? You know that? That's the way it works. And if you deny that, what side are you on? What kingdom are you in if you deny that? You are in the kingdom of darkness. I hate to tell you that. I'm not your judge. I do not judge anybody. I am no man's judge. I can see what your fruit is. I can see what you're doing there. But I'm not your. You're going to face a greater judge than me one day. One day at the end of your life, and that end is coming sooner or later, you're going to face the living God, the judge of the quick and the dead. That's who you're going to stand before. Not me, not Dennis Carroll. I'm not going to be your judge. I'm not your judge now. But you're going to be judged for the kind of life you live, the music you listen to, the things and the way you treated people, the things that you done and did not do. You're going to be judged for a lot of things, my friend, and I hope you got the blood of Jesus on you, because if you don't, Your name ain't going to be found in that book. And if your name ain't in that book, so long, Charlie. Jesus is the Word of God. Jesus is the Word of God. That's not just the Bible. The Bible is the Word of God too, but Jesus is the Word of God. He is the truth, the way, and the life. And what else did he say? No one cometh to the Father but by me. Not by Buddha, not by any of those Hindu-looking demon gods, not by yoga, not by anything. The truth is Jesus Christ. If you don't believe that, if you turn your back on that, I'm sorry for you, brother or sister. That's it. Girl on Gone says you got to ride with Jesus. That's good. Because you got to ride with Jesus. That's what you need. Absolutely. You better get right with him. I'm saying that to all of you. You better get right. You better know you're right. And you are right where you need to be with it. And you need to be listening to that woman I told you about, Angela. What's her name? I can't never think of her last name. But anyway, you go to Heaven and Healing YouTube channel and check that lady out. She is wonderful. Y'all need to be listening to her. She is giving you some good Bible teachings and stuff. She was a witch one time. She was deep into this new age stuff that I'm talking about. She was into all this stuff. You need to listen to her. Absolutely. Absolutely. And she will bless your heart. Heaven and Healing YouTube channel. That's one word. Heaven and Healing. I think her name is Angela Cordelli or something like that. I got her name somewhere. Let me see. Wait a minute. I'll tell you what. I got it here somewhere. Hold on just a second. I'll give you her name exactly. But you can look it up. Look it up. Her YouTube channel is mainly called Heaven and Healing. That's the way you find it. But you can look it up by her name as well. And her name is Angela Marie. This thing is slow as molasses. Hurry up and open it. I got her name right here. Hold on, I wrote it down. I've been listening to her. That's wonderful. I love to listen to this woman. She knows what she's talking about because she's been there. She's been there. She's been deep into this stuff. Okay. She knows what she's talking about here. And you need to listen to her because she will bless your heart and uplift your spirit, Benny. Because she is a born teacher of this thing. She knows her stuff. And she's not about being judgmental and all that. She has got a good heart. This woman has a good heart. And she knows her stuff. Her name is Angela Marie Scafidi. 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 Okay, that's her name. But just look it up as Heaven and Healing. Trust me, I want you to go check her out tomorrow if you get a chance or whatever. You will be amazed. She is something else. Absolutely. Yeah, check her out, huh? You will be glad you did. All of you. I'm highly, highly, highly recommend this one. Absolutely. Angela Scafidi. Heaven and Healing. And she has been there. She was a witch. She was in the New Age stuff. She was doing all that Reiki stuff and all that. She was into all that stuff. This woman knows what she's talking about. She's been there, you know. And I tell you what, that's what it takes, experience. Okay, folks? Experience is what? The best teacher of all. Absolutely. Don't ever forget that. It's very important. But anyway, that's what's going on with this music stuff. It's not just music. It's video games. It's books, it's TV shows, it's movies. They're working on us through all this stuff because they're getting us right where they want us. This is the insidious way because these forces move against us. There you go, girl. Gone. She got it. That is it right there. Heaven and Healing channel. Check it out. It is fantastic. I'll leave that up for a few minutes so everybody see it. But if it's if you can't copy it, just remember Heaven and Healing channel. Great channel. You will really thoroughly enjoy it. Yep. Check her out. Absolutely. I listen to her all the time. She's got a ton of stuff on there. Her shows are only about an hour, but buddy, she puts a lot in that hour. And she's been on CNN. She's been on TBN, and she's been on a lot of different things. She is smart, very smart. I admire her. I like smart people. Absolutely. Ricky is. But I'll leave that up for you. But you will not believe. Let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. I want you to listen very closely to what I'm telling you, okay? She will tell you a lot about this stuff, yoga and all this other stuff. I heard one woman call yoga stretchy witchcraft. That's a pretty good description. I thought that was funny. But anyway, let me tell you something. You need to examine where all this stuff is coming from. Do you hear me? Don't take it as face value. What you think is good and right may not be what you think it is. There is a dark pagan demonic forcing behind a lot of this stuff. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about here. I've studied this stuff for decades, decades, over half a century now. Take my word for it. I know where a lot of this stuff is coming from, and it is downright demonic, straight from the depths of hell. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. This program here with this woman will absolutely open your eyes. If it don't, you are spiritually blind. You need your eyes open. Trust me, a lot of this stuff is not what you think it is. You have been misled, sadly. You have been lied to. What's the number one talent demons have? They lie. They can lie so good. Look at Satan. He talked a third of the angels out of heaven. That's how good he can lie. Yes, they are demonic. The entities of yoga are demonic. Look at them. Look at the depictions of them with the fangs hanging out, standing on dead skulls, holding somebody's head in their hand. Is that not demonic? You tell me what is. Yes, New Age is nothing but witchcraft with a new set of clothes on it. I hate to tell you that, but that's what it is. It's witchcraft with a new set of clothes on it. That includes Reiki. That includes chakras. That includes yoga. That includes just go check it out. See where it comes from. Don't take my word for it. You don't want to believe me. Look into it yourself, but be honest about it. Look into it. Examine it. You will see what I'm talking about here. I'm not just lying to you. You will see what I'm talking about. Its root is in the demonic. They have philosophies and the teachings of demons and devils. That's what the Bible talks about. Don't be fooled. They're trying to lead you away from the real truth. Don't you fall for that. It's a demonic trick. Sugar with poison. That's very right, Kyle. That's exactly how they get you to swallow that stuff. You hear about the Queen of Heaven. That's what they call Mary now, Queen of Heaven. That is nothing but goddess worship. Goddess worship is taking over the feminist thing, okay? The divine feminine. Don't you fall for any of this stuff. Watch this woman. She will tell you all about it. Heaven and Healing Channel. It's not just me. I didn't make this stuff up. This is real, folks. Don't deny the truth. The truth is staring you right in the face. Okay? Check it out. But it's taking the place of the actual healing of God. Don't you understand? It's taking God's place. Just go check it out. Trust me, with an open mind, look at it for what it truly, truly is. Not what you've been taught, but for what it truly is. You have been misled. You have been lied to. There's been a lot of misrepresenting going on here. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. I know all about this occultic stuff. This is the occult, folks. The hidden knowledge of the occult. That's what it is. What else could it be? I gotta call that bear what color he is. And that's exactly what color it is. Trust me, I'm not just trying to be mean to you. I'm not trying to screw you up here. I'm trying to tell you the truth. And the truth will set you free. But if you are a prisoner to lies and the wrong things, you in bad trouble. Don't you understand? You cannot be a Christian with one foot in hell and one foot in heaven. You can't do that. You got to be either one of those kingdoms I talked about, the kingdom of light or the kingdom of darkness. There ain't no in between. You can't be both. You can't sit at two tables at one time. Jesus taught this, not me. I hate to, I'm not trying to make anybody mad at me. I'm trying to be me. The occult, you can't believe that, John. The occult comes from one place. God comes from the other. You can't have them both. They don't both work together. Don't you understand? Study this. Listen to this woman with an open mind. You will find out what I'm talking about. Truly, open your mind and realize the real spiritual truth here. Not what you've been taught, but the real spiritual truth. Don't you forget, the demonic is all about lies, misleading you, misrepresenting things. It is downright insidious. And it's very important that we get away from these things and trust only in God. God is the only one that heals. Healing power is not within you. The healing power is God when you believe in faith of God. That's what faith in God is all about. Believing in God. I'm not here to debate anybody tonight. And you can call this my opinion, but I'm basing my opinion on biblical fact. The Word of God. Take a good, long, hard look, my friends, and be very, very careful what you think you believe and what it truly may be. Because like I have told so many times before, embrace the truth and not the lies. It's very important that we do that. Yes, the healing power is God. You can't say, I'm going to do this, push God out of the way. I can do this, God. I got it. I don't need you. That's what you're saying. That's what this New Age teaching is all about. You don't need God. You're a God. You are not God. You were not born or made to be a God. Do you not understand? Do you not see what these demons are trying to fool you with? But anyway, getting back to music. Music is being used for these very same purposes to mislead you, to hide the truth from you, to take you away down another road away from the truth. And they use music, they use the movies, they use all that stuff. We've got to be on guard against it. Our very immortal souls are at stake here. This is serious stuff. This is not something you can play around with. This is serious, serious stuff. And you got to get it right. Yes, demons are tricksters. They're all about tricking you, you know? Absolutely. But you know what? I'm not trying to be mean to any of you. You know, I love all of you. I'm not being a judgment. I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to present you the truth. And at least you need, and I've said this before, you hear me, don't just take my word for it. Investigate it. Investigate, look deep into it. Don't listen to what somebody over here says, somebody over there. Investigate it for yourself and seek the real truth. It shall be open to you. Knock, and it shall be open to you. Seek, and you shall find it. Ask, and it shall be given unto you. That's what you got to do. Sin will take you further than you want to go, keep you longer than you want to stay, and cost you more than you want to pay. Absolutely, Carl. And trust me, you don't want the wages of sin. Well, the wages of sin are death, spiritual death. I'm going to tell you, I got news for you. Spiritual death is unending. It has no end to it. It is forever. It is eternal. That is spiritual death, the second death that the Bible talks about. You do not want to engage in the second death, no matter what. But that's where you're heading if you hang on to the dark side. If you live in that dark kingdom. But you're going to believe what you want to believe. But trust me, be very careful what you believe. You better investigate. You better really know, because there are spiritual concepts out there that are taking you away from the true will of God and the faith of God that you need to connect to. Be very, very careful what you're doing. Because one day, like I said, you're going to have to stand before the throne of judgment. And then God's going to ask you one day, well, didn't you hear the truth? Why didn't you embrace it? Why didn't you take the truth when it was given to you? Don't be like Pontius Pilate. The very truth was standing in front of him and he couldn't see it. You can't have Jesus in the New Age too. I'm sorry, but you can't. Because the New Age is nothing but the old witchcraft with a new set of clothes on. That's all it is. Thank you, Kyle. But anyway, get back to the music before we end tonight. The music is one way that gets in, that worms our way into our souls. The enemy knows this, okay? Be very careful. You know that the enemy knows it, and he knows what it will do to you and how it opens you up to manipulation, okay? And we've got to be very careful whenever we face manipulation, okay? Because if it bends us the wrong way, it can definitely lead us away from the truth. Thank you there, lady. The yours needs another $15. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I wonder why. I don't know. They say they've revamped the whole new Cracker Barrel. I don't go to Cracker Barrel, but they say they revamped it. A lot of people are mad about it, by the way. They say they changed it for all the bad reasons or something. Anyway, I don't know. But I would assume it may still be so-called country music. Even country music does not sound like country music anymore. Okay, it's more like pop music now. Uh, but anyway, we've got to understand though, music like books, movies, stuff like that, they can all have an effect upon us. Okay, and we've got to be very careful how we approach that, and not let that not have that effect on it. Okay, but be very careful with it. And please go check out Angela Scafidi. Okay, Heaven and Healing. Please go check her out. You will be glad you did. So trust me, she will bless your heart. She will open your eyes to things you need to see. Okay, and we all need our eyes open, spiritually open. And that's what I want you all. I want you to have your eyes open spiritually. I want you to be your minds open spiritually to the real truth of these things. I left the meeting because it's feeling demonic. Oh, really? Anyway, if you ever get that feeling, it's something that does not feel right, go with it, because usually there's a reason that you're feeling that way, you know? Um, it definitely got to be very careful when that alarm goes off to pay attention to it, okay? Because I've had that do me that way many times over the past. I've had that happen, you know. But anyway, um, but that is the show for tonight. You've got any questions? Bump them up here now. Now's a good time to do it if you got any questions, anything you want to say. But we need to be careful with the music, and you know, and like I say, I see people walking around all day long with those ear pods in, listening, boom, 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 boom. You know, what in the world are they putting in their minds? You know, and what kind of effect it's going to have upon them? But it is not good. It's not usually a good effect. I tell you some good wholesome music, and I'm not just pushing gospel music. I love classical music myself. Classical music has a way to uplift the spirit and make you feel good too. You know, good classical music. Um, any kind of music that's uplifting and makes you feel better. You immediately know when you know what I'm about to say. You immediately know when you feel some dark kind of evil, oppressing kind of music and how it makes you feel. And then you know how the uplifting, good kind of music makes you happy, makes you feel good. Which one do you want? You don't want that depressing kind. Well, good gosh, we get depressed enough now as it is. We sure don't need music to make us even more depressed than we already are. Okay, we don't need music to make us feel dark and down and depressed and bad about things. We need music to make us feel good. We need music to make us to uplift us, to feed our spirit and not poison it. That's what this dark music is all about. It is poison, folks. Spiritual poison that we're putting in our bodies and our minds. We need to get away from this stuff. Just like, I've had a lot of people say this, okay, and this is a very hypocritical thing, but they say, well, I don't eat at McDonald's. I don't eat that junk, but they don't care what kind of junk they put in their mind. They really don't care what kind of junk they put in their minds. How much of a hypocrite can you be, Absolutely. Healthy music, that's right, Jason. We need to be looking at healthy stuff, not stuff that poisons us. And then it's not just physically poisoning, but mentally and spiritually poisoning to us. We don't need that kind of stuff. We don't need that stuff in us. And we need to avoid it as much as possible. Absolutely. What if tomorrow I started teaching you bad things and make you feel down and depressed and evil and dirty and all that stuff? How would you feel about this? You say, well, I don't need that kind of stuff. If you like that kind of stuff, I got news for you. You need to examine yourself. If you like that old rap music and some of this metal music and the bad things it's saying, you need to look at yourself real hard in the mirror. I'm not your judge, but you need to judge yourself and understand where are you coming from? Why do you like that kind of stuff? Why do you need that in your life? You better examine yourself. Yeah? You better examine yourself. Something is not right. Check it out. It's you. It's your soul that we're talking about here, folks. That's very important stuff. Stay away from the poison. The poison will get you. But anyway, yeah, you want some toe tapping music, yeah. Something makes you feel good. Not something that depresses you. How many of you out there get depressed? You have a problem with depression, right? You know? You don't need to compound that. You don't need to make it worse. You need to try to make it feel better. Yeah, if you're screaming it, you ain't singing it. That's definitely right. I agree with that 100%. Some of this stuff they call music sounds like somebody rattling a rock in a tin can or something. It ain't music in my book. That's all I got to say about it. It sure ain't music in my book. But I don't know. I kind of get disheartened a lot by the stuff that goes on in this world. It really bugs me. It really depresses me in many ways. The things that we have to struggle against, the things that are out to do the bad things to us that they're trying to do. It's not good. It's not good. It doesn't make me feel good about it. But that's the way it is. Though, I'll be honest with you, folks. Once upon a time, I used to think the good guys would win the game. Good guys finish first. I found out that's not true. Good guys usually finish last. I found out that a lot of people don't believe in such a thing as friendship. They believe more in betrayal. They will betray you. Absolutely. And I believe that once upon a time I stood for respect, but all I ever got was disrespect. Upon a time, I was loyal. I believed in loyalty, but I got nothing but betrayal out of that. I've been thrown under the bus by my friends a lot of times, and sometimes they'll even back up and ride back over you 2 or 3 times just for good measure. I've been thrown under the bus a lot, you know. But I'm kind of done got used to it by now. But you know what? As time goes on, the more and more I realize, I've just been banging my head up against the rock somewhere, I've been banging my head up against the door or a tree or whatever you want to call it. That's the way it seems like sometimes. I'm not getting anywhere with that, definitely. But that's the rules of this game. That is the rules of this game, unfortunately, this crazy game that we're playing. And they don't, and those rules are never fixed to help you out. That's the way it goes. Yeah, those darts that are being thrown at us, the things that are being done to us. We know what they are, but it still doesn't make them any less sharp. That's the way it goes. But I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know. But you know what? That's the rules of the game. So you must adjust accordingly to the rules. Absolutely. And understand. By the way, I'm going to make an announcement tonight. On my Facebook page from now on will probably be nothing but advertisements. I will not be posting personal stuff on there anymore. Nobody reads it anyway. Nobody reads my work or anything on there. So that was just a waste of time and oxygen in the room. So from now on, I will probably just be posting advertisements for shows and on the Facebook. That's the way that's going to go. Yeah, we were supposed to win in the end, but I don't know if I'll be there to see that. But definitely, that's the one thing. I used to think good guys win, but I don't know. I really don't know sometimes. I used to think that, a lot of different things would turn out the way they did, but they didn't. Well, thank you, Jesse. But anyway, that's the way it goes. It can be downright depressing, absolutely. But I appreciate you all being here tonight, definitely. Somebody, you stayed here for the whole show. That's the man. Some people just check in for a few minutes, check out. I appreciate you staying for the whole show, okay? That means a lot, definitely. It means you really, really support. And I appreciate that. It means a lot. You know, uh, that's the way it goes with friends. Some people, though, you just can't depend upon. People you thought you could trust, you know, turn on you sometimes. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you do you look for respect and only get disrespect. It can be disheartening and it can be depressing, but we got to keep pushing on. But I appreciate you all, definitely. Kind of remind me of that poem. Let's see how they go. Well, the road is dark and the seed is sowed. Well, the gun is cocked and the bullet's cold. Well, the miles are marked with the blood and the gold. I'll see you further on up the road. How very true that is. Absolutely. That's life, isn't it? Yeah, Kyle, you don't have those glasses yet, buddy? Oh, thank you, Freedom Lover. I appreciate that. But yeah, tomorrow I will be on with Shanny. I'm doing a show called Missing Parts. What have you got missing? Is somebody snuck in and stole a part, or have you lost one somewhere? That's the name of the show, Missing Parts. It'll be at 12 o'clock noon on Aquarius Rising. We had a great show last week on unmasking vampires. It was Monday. If you missed that, you need to go check it out. It was great. It was a woman on there that came out of the vampire cult. She was a really great lady. Her name was Beverly Rhodes, and she told some really eye-opening stuff on there. So go back and check it out if you missed it on Aquarius Rising. It was fantastic. You fell off, I thought, did you supposed to get you some new glasses, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was Beverly. Beverly's a good lady, but she was really neat. I'm thinking about getting her on the show here one night and talk to her. She would be an interesting guest. But I appreciate you all so very much for being here. And take care out there and keep your head on a swivel and eyes on your six, okay? Be careful. And I will see you if nothing happens Friday night, paranormal point of view. Be there or be square. All right. Don't be square. All right. Well, I appreciate you all so very much. Take care of yourselves. And I hope you take to heart what we said about tonight and watch that music, okay? And be careful what you're dealing with out there, okay? Because some of it is definitely not stuff that's good for you. Absolutely. Well, good night to all of you. Take care, and I will see you in the shadows. Goodbye. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep. While I weep, oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or sing but a dream within a dream? You can support Hunting the Shadows at our Patreon, patreon.com, Hunting the Shadows Podcast. Also, our memberships are open on the Hunting the Shadows YouTube podcast channel. Please also support our Facebook groups, the American Institute for Paranormal Research, Southeastern Cryptid Investigations, Legend Trackers Society, Highway to High Strangeness, Monstrum Venators R.Us, Agency of the Arcane, and Hunting the Shadows Agency. You can contact Dennis Carroll at denniswcarroll.com.